Hi guys, it's Daniela again and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I decided that I would do a tutorial using some makeup products that I haven't used in ages and makeup products that I've just forgotten about. Some are old favourites, some I just don't reach for anymore. So if you're excited about this video, continue watching and let's get started. Hi guys, so I've got my little bag of makeup products I haven't used in ages. So for today's video I'm going to start off with foundation just because I don't think I'm going to do anything really cool with eyeshadow, just because I have a palette that I don't really like anymore. It's this Naked Free by Urban Decay. It's not a bad palette, it just does not give me any inspiration. So for that reason I'm going to do my face first, and the foundation I'm going to go in with is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation in Ivory. The reason why I haven't used this is because the foundation is actually way too light for me, so I'm going to look ridiculous, but we're just going to have to bronze a lot. I can't even remember what I actually think of this foundation. I know it's like really full coverage, so yeah, and it's really expensive, so I'm going to shake it. So the applicator is just like a little ball and you kind of just put it on where you want it. So I'm going to blend this out with a brush first and then go over my beauty blender. And this is like really full coverage from what I remember. And this foundation, even just from blending it out, is very matte. Okay, so that is foundation, and I can see it is very light for me. Like, I look so ghostly. Hopefully this oxidizes a little bit. Now I'm going to go over it with my beauty blender just to take away any excess foundation. So now that I've beauty blended over this foundation, I'm going to go in with concealer. This concealer, I don't know why I even bought it. It's a concealer like this. It's the number 7, and it's like this kind of concealer, and I just know that I'm not going to like it. I think this is going to be a bad concealer though, but let's hope not. It's really hard to blend out with Real Techniques beauty sponge. So I'm just going to use my foundation brush to do my under eyes. I bought this like 3 years ago and I don't think I've ever used it more than like once or twice. Now I'm blending it over with my beauty blender. It seems to be less like drying. I don't feel like it has a lot of coverage either. Like, I'm going to add a little bit more. So even though it feels like it's set and it feels very matte, it's still creasing. So I am going to set it, and for setting powder, I don't have a powder that I don't use. So I'm going to go in with my RCMA No Colour powder. So now I'm just going to go in with my Milani Prep Setting Glow powder just to bring some glowiness back to like my face. So not used to my face being this matte. It's like, okay. So I'm not sure if I've spoken about this recently, but this glow setting spray from Primark does have like particles of shimmer in it, so just be wary. I didn't notice until I was wearing a black t-shirt and I sprayed it and it was like just shimmer here. So I'm just going to spray this on just because, one, I'm not going out, so I don't need this to not be glittery, if that makes sense, and I need to use it up, and 2, I need some glowiness back to this face, so I'm going to use this. You can't really see the specks of like shimmer on your actual face, but you can see it on like your clothes. So yeah. So for bronzer, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Fiji Matte bronzer and blush. The reason why I don't use this very often is because it's right at the bottom of my collection, so I don't see it as often. But it's looking alright so far. I definitely need to bronze up my skin today. So now that I've done that, it definitely has made my skin a bit more bronzy. And I actually like that colour. I don't know why I don't use it very often, but I actually quite like that on my skin. So for blush, I have 2 blushes. I have the Milani Romantic Rose, which looks like this. Or I have the blush that is in here. So I might just mix both of them and put it on my cheeks. I really like the Milani blush. The only reason I don't use it is it's also in the back of my collection, so I just don't use it as much. Oh, I like that. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. one now. It's a very similar colour, but the e.l.f. one is a little bit darker. Okay, overdid it on my blush. When do I not overdo it on my blush? I like adding a little bit of blush to my nose now. I don't know why. Does it even suit me? I look like an idiot? Probably. Now for contour, I do have something that I don't use very often for contour. This is the NYX taupe eyeshadow, I think it is. This was hyped up years ago, and I think it was Nikki Tutorials that used this a lot. I am going to go in with this the slightest bit on my contour. I don't really contour anyways. I kind of just bronze and use that as like a contour. Did I say contour? Contour. Okay, you can definitely see that I've added some coolness to my forehead and my cheeks. I just don't think contour really like does anything for me. Like, I've got a round face, so it doesn't really do anything for me. I feel like bronzer does something, makes my face seem a little bit slimmer, but I don't think contour does anything for me. Like, I don't know, maybe I just don't know how to do it, that's probably why. So I do have a cream highlight that I completely forgot to use before I started bronzing and blushing. This is the Kiko Cream Radiance Highlighter in 01, and it just looks like this. And this is a nice highlight. The only problem with this one is it's also the back of my collection. So I don't get to use it as much because I don't get to see it as much. So I am going to go in with a little brush. And I'm kind of tapping it on, not swiping, just because I don't want it to take away the foundation from under it. I'm going to put this in the inner corner of my eye. I will probably intensify it, but I just want something in the inner corner of my eye. I'm not going to add a lot of that just because I don't want to disturb the foundation under. Okay, so now for eyes, I have this palette here. This is the Naked Free palette by Urban Decay. This is a palette that I literally can't remember the last time I used it. I don't really find any creativity from this palette. I don't know why I keep hold of it, but I just can't let it go. I used to use this a lot at the beginning, like when I first started off my Instagram, but I just don't look at it and I'm like, ooh, inspiration. I'm going to do this kind of eye. I just don't look at it and find inspiration from it. It might just be me, it might just be the actual palette. And all the colours just seem really muted, and that's not the actual palette's fault, that's my fault for buying a palette that's all like pinky and quite muted colours, like dusty pinks. I don't know why I bought this palette, but I did. So I'm going to go in with the colour Limit first, and I really don't like the pan sizes of the Urban Decay eyeshadows either. So I'm just going to do one eye, and I don't think I'm going to do anything like crazy because I don't feel like I can with this palette anyways. It's a nice colour actually. I'm still building up this colour, and it's building up pretty well actually. So now I'm going to go in with this colour here. This is a colour Nuna, and I'm just going to take this into my crease. So this colour is not that much darker than the colour I actually already have on my crease. So all these colours from here down are all like satin or shimmers. So I have no colour to darken out the outer V that's not a satin. So I'm going to go in with the colour Dark Side. The Dark Side colour, I feel like it's satin, but it doesn't come off satin. So I'm just building up that colour Dark Side. And they seem to be blending fine on like that concealer that I used as a primer. And I don't really have any fallout from these eyeshadows, by the way, as well. So I've only used 3 shades, and this is the eye look so far. So I'm just going to go off camera, do this eye, and then I'll be back to finish off the rest of my face and my eye with you in probably like 1 second. Hi guys, so I'm back. So as you can see, I've finished this eye. So what I've done so far is I added the last colour, Black Heart, which is a shimmer, onto the outer V. And I don't know if you can see here, there's a lot of patchiness here. I don't know whether it's because my eyes are really tearing or if it's the eyeshadows themselves. So I'm just going to add that dark colour into my outer V. Before I do anything else up here, I'm going to do my bottom lash line. For my bottom lash line, I'm going to go in with the Limit colour, which was the first colour that I used in my crease. Then I'm going to go in with the colour Nuna, which is just a slight darker colour. It's the second colour that I used in my crease. And then I'm going to go in with the colour Dark Side on the outer part of my lower lash line. And I'm connecting the lower lash line to my top eyelid. Then go back in with that colour Nuna, just to blend it out a little bit. Then I'm going to go in with the colour Black Heart on my lower lash line. Back in with Black Heart. And when you tap it away, you kind of tap away the shimmer as well, but not all of it. For my eyelid, I actually went in with 2 products. I used the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Sparkle Nude. I placed this all over my lid. And this is a product I don't use very often. And then I just tap this out. So the reason why I went over this is because I didn't like how it looked with this eye. So now I'm going to go in with my NYX Glitter Glue and just tap this over. because I am going to go in with a pigment that I don't use very often but I really like. So the pigment I'm going to use is the MAC pigment in Kixmas. So now I'm going back in with that colour Dark Side just to blend the edges. Now for my lower lash line, I'm just going to intensify it a little bit more with the colour Black Heart. And then for my actual waterline, I actually used a black eyeliner that I don't really use very often, but I do use it when I want a black eyeliner. This is the Rimmel Special Eyes eyeliner in Black Magic. So I'm just placing this and then closing my eyes so then it goes onto my waterline and my tight line. Now I'm bringing this down a little bit just so you can't really see it through my lashes. And I'm just going to blend that out. That dark colour is just not attaching itself to my actual eyes. It kind of just blends away. Like, you really have to build up that Black Heart colour, this one here. Like, you really do have to build it up because it just doesn't really stick to your eyes, if that makes sense. It's not my favourite look, I'm not going to lie. It's not a look that I would wear out just because I feel like it's just not blending and not as blended as I would like. But I don't know if it's like because my eyes are tearing up, which usually happens to me on this side mostly, or if it's the primer or if it's the shadows. So yeah, I'm not in love with this eye look. So for mascara, I used two mascaras that I haven't used in a while. I used the Revlon Lash Potion Mascara and the L'Oreal Voluminous Extra Black Mascara. Now that I use mascaras that are volumizing, I've noticed that this one doesn't really give you a lot of volume. It just gives you a lot of like separation. So I'm just going to use the Revlon one first and then layer it on with the L'Oreal one. I've done one layer of the Revlon one. I'm going to let that dry and do my lower lashes. So now I'm just using my L'Oreal one. So now that I've done mascara, I'm going to add a little bit of inner corner highlight using the shade Strange from the palette. And it's not a shimmer, it's a matte white. But I just wanted a little bit of something, but not shimmer, because I've got shimmer absolutely everywhere. So now for my brows, I'm going to use the PS Iconic Brow Gel, which I haven't used in absolute ages. And I'm just going to put this in my brows. I'm not going to add it too intensely, I just want to add a little bit. So I'm actually going to go in with the Stila liquid lipstick in Baki, and I don't know if this will suit either, but let's see. And I actually like the liquid lipsticks from Stila, I just don't use them very often. If you can hear snoring, it's from my cat who's sleeping right next to me. I feel like this lip does look good with this look, but I just feel like it's a little bit too pink and it needs just a little bit more purple. So I'm going to add the MAC lip liner in Soar. So I don't really like this lip with this eye look, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go in with a gloss. And a gloss that I don't use very often anymore is the PS My Perfect Nude Nourishing Lip Gloss in the shade Nude Haze. So this is the final look. What do I think? Concealer doesn't look too bad now. It's just not what I'm used to, so I don't think I'll be keeping that. The blush and the bronzer combination, I really like these two products, so I'll definitely be using these two again. So the cream highlight, I really like. The mascaras, they're fine, they're just not what I like anymore. So the liquid lipstick by Stila, I like the colour, but I know it's just not a colour that I reach for a lot, but I'll still keep it. I like the formula. The brow pomade, I still keep and I'll still use whenever I want a brow pomade. So the contour powder, I actually like it. It doesn't look too bad, so I'll still keep that. The pigment, I don't use very often, but I really like the pigment. It's just a really nice colour. The foundation, I'll still keep, but it's just not a foundation that I reach for a lot. I know that I can mix this in with a much more dewy foundation and get like a nice coverage. The palette, I don't know. I really don't want to throw it away, and I don't think I will, but it's just not a palette I reach for. So yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to give me a thumbs up, some comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.